It's kind of a silly question, how much is 20 billion? But it's amazing how hard it is to get your head around what 20 billion is. It sounds like these energy infrastructures are worth $200, $300 billion, and what's another 20? You know, we read about oil sands projects. Well, it went from 20 billion to 25 billion, or there's just numbers swirl around. So I thought it'd be useful just to put it in perspective. The current transmission grid in Alberta is valued at $2 billion. The whole thing. So that gives you some clues of how significant this is. I read in one of the documents, I think either AltaLink or TransCanada were talking about this. They said, well, it's only going to be, you know, $8 a month. All right. Well, does that mean it's like 50 cents now? Because the ratio doesn't work, right? So there's something else in the numbers as well. If you annualize that number, because, you know, the way the regulatory regime works, we spend all the capital, then we divide it by the number of years that the thing works and give a rate of return, and you turn it into an annual number. Well, the annual number for Calgary alone, we collect $100 million from all of you. I'm going to have to, in the future, be collecting somewhere between $600 million and $1 billion for the same basic service. You're not getting any better power from that. Still 60 hertz. And 120 volts, and we're still going to be making sure it's there 99.99% of the time. So what's the value equation of the 600 million? We're building a power plant downtown. I'm going to show you a picture of it. It only costs $2. We could build 3 power plants a year with this kind of money. When you turn it to the annual number for the province, it's equal to an 18% tax rate increase on your personal income taxes. It doesn't sound like $8 a month to me. If you look at it by region, the South, 125 million a year. Calgary region, let's say it starts out at 550 and ramps up from there. Edmonton starts out at 300 and ramps up from there. Fort McMurray, 500. Can you imagine the day that the oil sands realize they got to come up with another $500 million? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to march at City Hall, or they're going to march on the Department of Energy's office and say, you got to do something about the allocation of transmission costs. And guess what's going to happen to the rest of the province? That $500 million is going to be divided up. This is a death spiral, and we've got to stop it. Someone said to me the other day, well, isn't everything getting expensive? What the heck? Everywhere I go, everything's going up. It's like there's a song here somewhere, I think. I won't bother to sing one. But it's everything's getting expensive. So surely I must see these numbers everywhere. Well, here's the truth. By 2020, we think we maybe spend $2 billion on expanding the cities, the wire in the cities. We may spend $4 billion in generation if we can't do something with efficiency, and 20 on transmission. So let's talk about what it means on the delivered price. We built our company around the idea that we can hold prices for consumers below inflation. We've been offering 5-year flat, uninflated contracts for 5 years now. 220,000 people in Alberta have signed up to this. They like it. And they like the fact that they're protected. Hal Quisley was in the news the other day. He said, Albertans need to get used to 20-cent power, speaking about nuclear and carbon sequestration. Well, we're not saying that. We're saying that. And I think we're going to say that for quite a long time. We also went to the regulator last year and said, you know, we're so excited about being able to keep energy prices under control, we think we can do the same thing on our distribution company. And we asked for a 7-year CPI minus 1.2% equation. So each year the price the year before is in a 3% inflation environment, about 1.8%. So it's an inflation beater also for 7 years. So we've done that. Put the two together, if you live in Calgary, you're beating inflation, as long as transmission is kept under control. Look what happens when you put the transmission bill on top. It literally undoes everything we were trying to do. Now you know why I'm up here, is we have to break the news to the customer. I don't want to have to do that. I want to seek alternatives.